Hey, what's going on? It's Glendon, founder of Hustlers Kung Fu, all about making that money without the job. Today, we're going to talk about something a little different. But for those of you who are here, if you want to never be broke again, be sure to get that Never Broke action pack. So with that, let's get into it. Make sure that we got this thing set up. I know it's Monday. All right, we should be rocking and rolling. This is a live stream right now. There'll be a little interaction with folks. So let's get into the bigger part of this. This weekend, sitting back, watching the games, and yesterday, and this is really a very, very good example of what happened. Like, unfortunately, I know someone who's a New York Giants fan, but when I saw that they went down there, not once but twice, and came in with field goals, messing around with Tricky Rogers, it's just not a good look. And I actually told someone, we were watching the game, I said, this is not looking good. If this fool gets hot and he can score, as you saw, 2 touchdowns in 4 minutes, it's pretty rough. And unfortunately, they lost. But that's kind of the thing that I want to talk about. Many times in sports and other areas, you'll see people who are struggling. And with, matter of fact, tonight, it's the national championship game. And you would think that Alabama has lost games this season. Because Clemson, it's Clemson, Alabama's kind of the underdog. It's totally crazy, but that's a false narrative. But typically, struggle is not looked upon as a good thing. Struggle is something that people frown upon, but struggle is where the money is generated. So with that, let's go to the chat room. Let's see what we got going on here. What's up, AKW Beats? What's up, Canna Startup? What's up, Nigel, Melissa, Keith, Quazel, Diana, Ronnie, Douglas, Crash Test Dummy Pro. That cracks me up. What's up, Benjamin, Carlton, Issy? What's up, Douglas? The Life Warrior. Hey, Glenn, how do you tell the difference between hustler porn and legitimate, valuable business education? I'm going to come back there to a minute. What's up, Pauline? What's up, Mike? Julani, what's going on? CJ Lee. I know. What's up, Irene, Johnny? All right, so let's go. Let's hit this really quick, because this is a good question, because it actually is part of one of the reasons I do these streams and I talk so much smack about hustler porn. This morning, I was working on my task list, got a lot of stuff to do today, and I was listening to some hustler porn. First thing is, they never tell you exactly the steps. Because see, this is the thing. I can give you steps, right? I can lay it out. I can lay out a blueprint for you. And I know from business, it's like a doctor. A doctor can sit down and tell you how to cut someone open, to locate the spleen, the liver, whatever. They can tell you that just like that. But it's going to take years to teach you what to do when shit goes wrong after you cut them open. So I can say, hey, this is what you do with an LLC. But due to your business, due to your other things, then, there's still a need to hire me, even though I told you how to do it. So the first sign is they never mention the process. Second sign, you don't know what the product is. Hey, Johnny, I want you to join me and my friends tonight at 8 p.m. at this hotel. I can't tell you what it's about, but you need to be there, and it's really exciting. Are you going to come? Are you going to come? Are you going to come? Ha, ha, ha. So hustler porn typically is all about the accoutrements of success. That's the stuff that comes after you're really successful. You don't get the Ferrari before you build a company. You don't get the big house before you build a company. You don't get the silicon enhanced chick before you build a company. So they teach you all, they tell you all this stuff, and this is what's called hindbrain stimulation, hindbrain teasing. because your hindbrain is real simple. Me like, me don't like. Oh, me like silicone. Oh, me like Ferrari. Oh, we like. So hustler porn has no substance whatsoever. It's like that pretty chick who's rotten to the core, looks good on the outside, but the inside is just deplorable. So that's how you can tell, because typically they won't tell you. They'll tell you what people are making. You'll get a bunch of screenshots, but you will not. I'm going to give you another thing that you can tell, because this is really, really works very well into today's conversation. There was this guy who's a Facebook friend of mine. He's one of those Amazon FBA people, and and a lot of them like to talk about, hey, I crushed 60,000 this month. Hey, I crushed 90,000 this month. Hey, I crushed 200 grand this month. And then I watch their pages and I'll see other things in their life. For those you don't know, I used to work in a laboratory, so everything I do has somewhat of a scientific method to it. So there's what's called a baseline. So my friends who are really making money, their Facebook pages, they're just happy. And a lot of them don't pitch their business. So that's something that I stopped doing. I'm not pitching my business on my Facebook page. The other day I was talking about bison. And typically the folks I really know that I've met, I know their business model, they never really hardly talk about their business. Every now and then, mostly they talk about their families, they talk about their trips, their vacations and stuff. And these are folks making, legitimately 7 and 8 figures a year. You never see this stuff on their page. Why? They have no need to sell you shit because they're making money from their business. Just saying. So these are just some of the things you can tell. Like someone is another piece of hustler porn I was watching. The guy was talking about all this money he's making, but he's doing a video in his kitchen because he kind of pans. The refrigerator's here. It's a very small kitchen. It's a very small kitchen. Typically, if you've lived in several houses or you bought houses, you can tell how big a place is by the kitchen and secondary bedrooms. There's just certain things if that's a big house because the way they lay certain things out. So this person's making all of this money and is living in a shoebox. That makes no sense. You get a little money, ain't nothing. You don't even have. We're not even talking about mansion level here, okay? A nice depending on where, a nice $250,000 house, nice $300, $400, $500 house. It's gonna have some room. It's just gonna have some room. So there's so many ways that you can kind of look, and part of your inner spirit is going, I don't know about this, because there's something that makes your spidey senses tingle. So if your spidey senses are tingling, yeah, that might be it. It might give you a little bit of insights. But the thing is, in a lot of this with hustler porn, is that they don't talk about the struggle. Some people do, some people don't. And I'm talking about the real struggle, the real struggle. That's what we got in here. What's up, Gabriel? What's up? Hustler porn tends to be along the lines to make 900,000. Yeah, something like that. Yeah, I mean, there's so many ways. Oh, we got more people. What's up, Cornell, Divine Purpose, Mogul, Clayton, Rob? What are your thoughts on the concepts of failure? Do we overglorify or underglorify failure in business? Great question. We're going to address that in a minute. What's up, Lamode? Herbert Chapman. Everybody wants to be Arnold. Nobody wants to work out 4 hours a day. Same thing. Same damn thing with making money. Yes, that's it. That's it. That's it. What's up, Shalise? All right, so let's kind of get what are your thoughts or concepts of failure? Failure is a good thing, because see, this is how I frame failure, and I'll talk about with some of my businesses. One of them, I'll go way back. eBay in the beginning wasn't working for us. It wasn't working. I mean, put stuff up. We went through several. We get something hot, and then of course it would sell, but one of the things I was taught was to manage your growth, manage your sales. Like, we were eBay top heavy. And what does that mean is at one point, 60-70% of our money was coming from eBay. Sounds good, but it's very, very dangerous. That's like if you have a business and one customer accounts for 75% of your revenue and that customer goes away, you're hurt. So you want to try to have like 4 or 5 streams of income and 25% of your income coming from each stream. So if one of them falls off, you still have 75% of your income. Sometimes you can have one client or one customer and it works really, really well because you have a competitive advantage. But we failed with eBay, and I failed with Craigslist. I failed with Amazon at one point. There was a process of learning that didn't happen in a day. It didn't happen in a week. It didn't happen in a month. It was, to figure out eBay took us about 18 months the way that we were doing it, because the defining moment, and this doesn't work for eBay today, but it worked back then, was I bought a unit and I put everything that was eBayable for 99 cents. So there was 150 items that I all put up at 99 cents, right? Some of them went for 99 cents and I had to ship that shit, right? But a lot of them went for way more. The unit cost me $10, gross sales for over $2. I was like, jumping Jehoshaphat. I think we found something. It took us 18 months to get to that point because there's this resistance to not want to let shit go. And there was this, I'm going to see if she's still around, because this is what I learned from her. Because I'm not crazy to think that I know, let's see, can I find it? Let's see, hold on, by seller. See if they're still around. This was years ago. I think it was, I'm gonna see if I can find it. Bam, they're still there. Wow. All right, so let's go here. They're not selling on eBay like they used to. Not at all. Wow. Let's see. Let's go to the store. 17 results found in all economy. All right, I'm gonna actually show you this. I'm gonna show it to you. And I'm gonna explain the whole lesson to you. I'm gonna explain everything. Because see, this isn't hustler porn. This is real hustling. So we can give you explanations. Okay. Back in the day, you could see she used to go out and find very high-end clothing, and all her auctions started off at 99 cents. Like I said, don't do that today. You will lose your ass. They will wait you out. But back then, this was before eBay instituted the watch it feature, because I saw a big plummet in our sales when they instituted that, because it used to be you had to bid on it to keep track of your listings. So they killed it. But back to this, she used to have all of this stuff, and I would track her money. I would sit there and I look at all the green. She put stuff, I mean, she was doing, $2,000 like $4,000, $5,000, $6,000 a week. And it went up. I know at one point she was doing about 300 grand. She was like a platinum seller. So apparently, I mean, now she's been on here a long, long time. So I don't know what she's doing, and I'm not going to go looking for it. She could have opened up her own e-commerce store, because she's had a lot. But I just sat and watched her, and I looked at what she did, and I duplicated it, and it worked. It really, really worked. It worked very, very well. So that's where I got the ideal to do the 99 cents auctions. And we failed for 18 months. We failed for 18 months. We're still making a lot of money. But see, once we figured that out and I started buying units for that purpose, that's why, if you go back to my older videos, full from the rooter to the tutor, because proportionally they were cheaper than smaller units. And we just like load up and list up, 3, 4, 5. I mean, we're doing a lot of shipping, like 2,000 items a month, which is crazy because they're all different sizes, had to create boxes and all those other things. But that came from failing and staying with it. I look at failing as not the result that I want. I don't look at it as an indictment of my personality or who I am as a person or my totality as a person, which some people do. I failed, I ain't shit. Part of it is I've had a lot of observations. I've had a lot of critiques. I mean, my book's on Amazon. People left, someone from the auction trail, and the result, it's still up there. The review's still up there because I left it alone, because the response to the review was so cool. It's like you just talk. This was someone from the storage auction trail when they found out that I wrote a book and I was telling these stories. And on the blog, it was called Sheila Does Atlanta. She was pissed. She was pissed. I didn't use her name, but she knew it was her because I called her husband Opie. And she went after me, right? But after all of this thing, because the thing is, if you start failing now and get over yourself and don't get all caught up in your feelings, you can get rich, because that's where it comes. Because nobody, the Google guys, their shit didn't come. They tried to sell their shit for like 20 mil. Nobody bought it. I know those people that they tried to sell it to or feel maybe they're not, because without the Google guys and going through those failures, Google may not be what it is today. So Gates sued by the government. Failure is really, really a good way. If you can manage your failure, you can manage your expectations to make a lot of money, because the more tests that you conduct, the more money you're going to make. So let's see. We got more people in here. What's up, Monica? Beyond 3.7 mommy motivations. What's up, Rana? What's up, Alice? Pauline, I started 2 businesses, both failed, learned a lot, including how to set up a website. I started not 1 business, not 2, that's 2, 3, 4, 5 businesses that failed. I just didn't give up. And I had people talking about me, family members talking shit. And it's like, you need to just go ahead and get a job and stop that, because you don't have what it takes. Hold on. Yeah, who laughs. I think I said that wrong, but you get the gist. What's up, Irvin? My hot dog drug ended up breaking even in the end, but I count that as a fail. No big move on right. Well, I mean, you broke even, so that's not really a fail. What's up, Faman? What's up, Leroy? GTW, owning it, Broderick. All right, Austin, I failed at my first business, but I will learn had a big payback on the back end. Because see, here's the thing. You go ahead and you start these businesses and they don't work out. What you're doing is getting something called experience. Experience, let's talk about that. Google, Facebook, Microsoft, all these young people started these companies, right? But it was people 40, 50, 60 years old running that shit. Why? They had experience. It's a different energy to start a company than it is a different energy to manage a company. Very, very different things. Ronnie, you still recommend getting in real estate? Okay, we're gonna talk about that. I don't believe there's such a thing as competition, and I'm gonna explain why in a minute. Oh, families are trip with that. Irvin, what does breaking even mean? Okay, you spend $50,000 to start a business, right? And you make $100,000, but you make no profit. So you get your original 50 back, and then $50,000 to run the business, pay expenses, taxes, whatever. So you didn't make any money, but you didn't lose any money. That's breaking even. So yeah, Melissa, she broke even. Let's talk about real estate and competition. Okay. There is massive competition for bullshit. Base of the pyramid, like this, right? And then there's the pinnacle. The base is like this, and the pinnacle is like this. So as you move up, I mean, you can become a billionaire being like kind of toward the top in the middle of the pyramid. You don't even have to get to the fucking top. So, but long as you're down here on this base, doing what everyone else is doing it the same way that they're doing it, chasing trends and stuff versus creating a brand. Yeah, there's a lot of competition for bullshit, but really good, not so much. Great, awesome, nope. Excellent, nope. There's no competition up there, none. So that's why I don't think there's competition. So if you want to get in real estate and you become the savant of real estate, you will make money. So there you go. But typically where we are with this is that many people run from failure like they run from hornets. And I don't think you should. You should do something what's called calculated risk. Like say with spending on ads. If you got a budget for 5,000, you don't spend the whole 5,000 immediately. You spend 150, 200, and you run a test. And then you take another 100 and 200, and you run another test. Then you take another 200 and test. And out of those tests, something's going to perform better than the other two. Then the ones that don't perform well, you get rid of them. And then you run some more tests until you've got an ad set of stuff that works and makes you money. That's how you do this. But many people want to go into AdSense or their Facebook ads manager and put out something that's home run out the park, and it's just not gonna happen. Now, and there's competition for keywords. The juicier the keyword, the more expensive it's gonna be. And if you are like, you know, King Kong on that and you're willing to go nuclear, and my term for nuclear is like when there was a unit that regardless of how much money I spent on it, I was gonna make money, I would go nuclear. There's people who can go nuclear. They got the back end, they got the money, and they can spend $20 per click, and that click makes them $500. They're gonna spend it. They're gonna spend it all day long. They're gonna try to spend, you know, as many $20 bills to get those $500 bills as possible. And there are people who are doing that. There are people who are spending $200 a click, and they're selling the $2 to $10, $20, $30, $40, $50,000 product, and they're making money. So failure is how you go to being a big boy. Because here's the thing. Let's take these pickup artists on YouTube. A lot of these guys were not really good with women. They kept trying and reading and studying and personal development. And one day they were able to mac most of the women they wanted. Same guy, different skill sets. Skill sets are of supreme importance. They are uber important. I cannot understate. I can't even overstate. I can't overstate how important skill sets are. Yeah, the thing with family, because I got like videos, you know, here was the running joke with my mother. So, hey, mom, I started a business. So what you're really telling me is you still don't have a job. I mean, that's where, you know, when I come up with tribalism and things like that, typically kids whose parents are entrepreneurs, they don't really say that smackety smack. Unless it's a failed entrepreneur, then they might say that, but typically they don't. I'm doing HVAC in Florida, but don't like it. Was thinking real estate. Okay, here's the big draw to real estate. Everyone likes real estate because you can do one deal and make 5 or 6 figures, in some cases 7 figures. And really, you don't do that much work. You really don't once you're good. You know, you can find people to go out and find deals for you if you're at a certain level. But real estate is very much a credit and cash situation. You could probably hustle your way into 1 to 10 houses and be leveraged like a motherfucker. You can do that, yeah. But building a business, and this is my recommendation. Build a business, make a lot of money, then be able to fund your own real estate deals out of pocket. You become incredibly fucking powerful when you can do that. You make $150,000 a year that you could throw off on the real estate and buy property every year for the next 10 years. That's a hell of a retirement right there that 99.5% of the people in this country will never experience. You got 10 houses that owned outright, because this is what happens. You pay cash for them, which means if you know how to negotiate, it's like, look, I could talk to my attorney. We could be at the closing table in 5 days, 10 days, whenever you get your shit together, because I got money. So you get a discount. It's like, I pay you now. You get, let's say that the price of the property's $220, but because you're moving fast, it's like, would you take $212? Yeah, losing a little money, but $212, $220 ain't really a lot of skin off someone's dick. But the house appraises for $230. So you go in with equity plus appreciation because you negotiated a good deal because you had cash. So that's just my thoughts on it. Leroy, I failed at 3 businesses, learned a lot, especially about resale, auctions, the logistics, and getting products in and out. What's up, MJ Electronics? What's up, Ronnie? Ronnie, Dave Ramsey style. Well, on the real estate thing, I'm like that, but I believe in credit. I believe in loans for business, even, you know, against Mark Cuban, because typically, and that's, you know, Mark Cuban, I have a great respect for him, but when I listen to the advice they give to people, they're giving advice from where they are now. They're not giving advice from where they used to be, which is very different. Steve Jobs did the same thing. Steve Jobs hated the shit he was doing. So the advice he gave later in years was good advice, was not the advice he would have given when he started. So I tend to go a little deeper than that because, like I said, I respect Mark, but Mark wouldn't have given that advice when he got started. He wouldn't have, because, you know, he took money to start it. He didn't organically fund himself, but, you know, you have to do the history. Irvin, I have a cousin who has twins. Her baby daddy left her for another woman, but my other cousins are complaining that she doesn't have the resources and money to take care of the kids. I said the solution is for them to put their money together and build a business. Irvin, you were speaking Chinese to Spanish people. Okay, here's the thing with that. These women are not trying to get a job. They're not trying to build a business. They expect, due to social narratives, that someone, government or some dude's gonna give them money and their job's to raise kids and get paid for it. They ain't trying to start a business, man. They, you know, maybe one or two will wake up and like, shit, I need to start a business because I got this kid to support. But they ain't even thinking like that, dude. Don't even waste your breath. They're gonna look at you like a real man. You're gonna get that talk. Faman, how often do you watch Shark Tank? Never. This may sound elitist. I'm so busy playing the game of business, I don't have time to watch business as a pastime, if that makes sense. I don't watch Shark Tank. I don't watch The Profit. I have built several businesses, and none of these were multi-million dollar. Well, some were multi-million, but they weren't multi-billion. They weren't like huge businesses. So I'm operating kind of in a different space that an average person who can follow directions, who can do some market segmentations, can create a $1 to $10 million a year business and have an incredibly great lifestyle. I'm talking about 5 trips a year, first class to London, college money for your kids, and money for retirement. That's very, very fucking attainable. This like Spanx, where you come out with this wonderful product and become a billionaire. Statistically, that shit's ridiculously hard. Statistically, becoming a millionaire is statistically fucking hard. But with the right training and stuff, you can do it. So I operate in totally different areas. Like I said, I'm actually playing. I'm on the playing field, so I'm not really watching the game. Interested in new film coming out, Founder Inc. Which hits the theaters will be good. What they've done is sexualized or the romance business. They romanced it. That came out with the network about Facebook. What's up, Yo-Yo Clocky Bay? Douglas Jones, real estate is an enormous amount of work, especially those without experience, and make sure you test for toxins in the soil. Faman, would you ever invest in someone else's business? I have, but I got to know your ass. Like, oh, this looks good. I'm invested in businesses. I knew the people personally. I knew what they were. I knew their families. I knew what kind of people they were. I don't know if you should buy your first home. That's on you, man. But with failure, as you go through this process, and I've seen it so many times, and I think for me, the big thing came in the gym and learning how to live correctly. Sometimes I have to, like right now, I'm retraining myself. I'm no longer doing the bench press. The bench press, I can get real strong on it. It's really nice. But for me, it doesn't give me the development that I want. So I have to take my own advice and stop doing what I like to do. I mean, hey, it's an ego stroke, right? Bam, warm up with 225. Bam, 275 the next set. 3 plates. What? Oh yeah, everybody stop and pause and go. That's an ego thing, but it doesn't get me the development as dumbbell presses or, for me, my structure push-ups. The new workout is overhead presses first, and then I do push-ups until I am twitching and shaking on the floor. I'll get more chest development that I want up in here versus the big boob thing, you know? So that came from, you know, looking at what works and also having goals. Because another reason people fail is they don't have any goals. That whole thing, I'm just trying to make as much money as possible. There is no target. They're just like shotgun, boom, nah, boom, nah, boom. Versus, you know, 30-06, boom, one shot, one kill. There are no targets. Edward, have you read the book Outliers by Malcolm Gladwell? Really resonates with your mindset of entrepreneurs. Success stories being more than meets the eye. Yes, I like Malcolm. Malcolm gets a lot of shit from the psychology community because, you know, he's kind of like pop psychology. But yeah, billionaires are atypical. Millionaires are atypical. But you would have some people around here talking about like millionaires on every corner. They're not. I live in a very nice neighborhood, and there's everything you know, you go around, it's just nice, right? But I have the good sense that when I drive 30 minutes outside my neighborhood, like I was in Carrollton not too long ago, which is home of Southwire, which is $1 billion company in Georgia, and it just changed dramatically. You know, it just changed so much. I mean, it was just a different thing because those folks don't make that much money. And this isn't like they're good folks or bad folks. It's just the reality is that the neighborhoods where people don't make a lot of money are radically different from neighborhoods where people do. So I have the good sense to realize that everybody's not a millionaire. I know the numbers that 51% of the people in this country make 30 G's or less a year. 51% out of 340 million. 50%. That's 170 million people who don't make 30, that make 30 or less. Bump it up to 60, 70%. Bump it up to 100 G's, 95% don't make that. 95. Because see, when you boil down by the number, not household income, which is the way to make people feel about it. Average household income is 50,000. Household. Average single person income is not. That's why it's 50, because it's like 22 and 28 or 30 and 20. That's what it is. Yeah, I like Malcolm. He puts out a lot of good stuff. Irvin's calisthenics is a good workout. I can get great chest development from push-ups, and I kind of forgot that. Lawrence, I failed at Amazon and selling books, only made $10 from 3 books. Well, just take it back what you learned. Herbert Chapman, overhead presses the shit. That shit will make your shoulders superhuman. I can do a rest pause at 185. If I'm cheating, I can do like 205, but just like that, that's the limit. And I also learned that I don't need to max out every week. So next workout, I'm probably just going to do 135 for sets. Then I'll go put more weight on the next workout. It's this whole system of testing what works and what doesn't work. The power of leverage is powerful in real estate. Money, credit, and reputation can get you a great deal. Yeah. This is something I tell people. You need to get your credit straight. I know there's all these courses out there. You don't need credit. Essentially, you are partnering up with somebody who either has credit or money, which means you're not going to get the max benefit of the deal. I would take a smaller deal that I control, learn from that, and work my way to bigger deals. But that's just me. Hey, Florida's a whole different world. That's a lot of wealthy people in Florida. But the thing is, you got to get comfortable with not, and let's kind of change up the language. You got to get comfortable with doing something and not getting the desired result immediately. That's really what failure is. My books, my first time trying to write, I failed. The second time I failed, but the third time I started this YouTube channel and I started a whole new phase of my life. If I had given up, I would either be back in resale or I don't know what the fuck I would be doing. But this is very fulfilling. I have a lot of fun. I enjoy the people I work with. And there's a lot of value in that because I remember the days of having a job I hated. I remember the days of hitting the alarm clock 2 and 3 times because I didn't want to get up. I don't even need an alarm clock to get up because I love what I do so much. So from the happiness point, I'm wealthy as fuck. But typically, a lot of people don't really look at it like that. How to increase Google searchability? Should I hire an SEO specialist? Okay, here's the biggest thing you need to do. You need to create a brand. Forget about gaming Google. Create a brand. And this is going to be that you're going to have to invest more into it, because a lot of search engine stuff is trends, and there are people who've made millions and millions of dollars from trends. But it's like this. I had a friend, do a launch, make 60, make 100 grand, then have to wait 6 months to hit the list again. And it was just, he spent too much. He got in trouble because he didn't have, see, this is my thing. I am a big fan of consistent income, monthly income from your internet business. The launch model is great. I don't like it, and I don't really do it much. And I've done it a few times and I had great results, but the launch thing is, it's like a startup. You're doing a lot of work. You're doing a lot of little tests. You're building stuff up. You're building stuff up for weeks or months, and you're not making any money. I like making money every week. That's just me. So build a brand. Build a brand, build a community, and you can kind of chill from the things with Google. I mean, it's still important. So it's just the thing, because so many people, they will not start because they think that they're going to fail. There are people who watch this channel for 8 years they love the message, they love the videos, they've not taken one lick of action in 8 years. 8 years. Explain something for me, Glenda. How does foreign men from Morocco get money for stores and keep open stores over again? Do they have to pay that money back? They have investors. Okay, here's the thing with immigrants. And this is one of the things is, I learned from watching my Latino, my Hispanic helpers. I started working like a Mexican. And I'm not trying to be offensive for somebody who, with their little pink panties, gets all twisted. I saw that these guys I go pick them up, Home Depot, and it's cold. And they're out there. And then when they got a job, they went at it. They went at it. They went at it. And I was like, I need to start working like that versus going, oh, wait, these Mexicans sure work hard. I started working like an immigrant. Part of their thing is back home, they're really poor. They're really extended belly poor, no running water poor. They're fucking poor. Here, they laugh at people talking about they're poor. It's like, you got a house, you got TV, you eat out. You're not fucking poor. But you say that, then it's like, we all struggle at our own levels and all other namby-pamby shit. But typically, they have a lot of trust. They have families, and they'll pool their money together. Purpose Pit, those are the chumps. I'm considering a service-based business where clients can pay via monthly subscriptions. Any recommendations? Once again, do your own work. See, one of the things that I know to be a problem with hustler porn is, let's see. I don't have anything. Yeah. All right, here's this cup, right? You're told that this cup is a system or a product and it works for everybody. So the system works, right? And then everybody gets this cup. Then what happens is it stops working. By figuring out your unique proprietary angle and what you're trying to do, you can literally carve money out of the economy for yourself. Your systems are great, but building your own thing, Amazon, let's look at Amazon. Amazon had to build their own web services because they couldn't find anyone to do what they wanted done. So they built it and they sell Amazon Web Services is $1 billion company by itself. Prime, we can't find anyone to do it. Let's do Prime, $1 billion company by itself. Amazon Fulfillment. Well, we want stuff shipped a certain way and no one can do it. We're going to build our own. All three of those parts of Amazon are multi-billion-dollar companies if they were spun off. So there is value with building your own shit. Now it took Amazon. Amazon took hits, and it was a butt of jokes for years and years and years. Now everybody's like, oh, Amazon, I'm gonna kiss your ass. I remember reading the press clips and the stock reports and watching analysts on just talk shit about Amazon, but now they're like, oh my God, you know, Amazon making my nipples hard. Famong, would you ever take investors for any new business ideas you have? No. This is the whole thing. I've been studying business since high school, reading Inc. magazine. I had a subscription to Inc. magazine when I was 16 years old. So I have studied a lot of stuff, and I look at the market because it's fun to me. And you know, if you go ahead and let's just say you build your service business and you build some unique angle, like there's this thing, I forget the name of it, but they're on these trucks and they just drive around and they sell you gas. The gas company comes to you. It's like you're at work, you need to fill up, hit them up, they come fill your tank up. You don't have to go to the gas station. Now, why is that important? How many people, how many of your friends, maybe you, who run around on fumes because they don't want to go to the gas station? So every time you need to fill up, somebody's like gonna come to you, and it's roughly the same cost of going to the gas station. That's a no-brainer. What's up, David? Yeah, Ronnie, just do it. Amazon's working and creating their own mailing systems, possible drones. Okay. I got a drone for Christmas. Let me tell you what you got to do for a drone. You got to fill out a form with the government, and drones cannot fly over the city. They can't fly over the city. So that little wrinkle that, you know, because they're putting it out there, because a lot of people there's this information asymmetry. Most folks don't know all drones should file their form with the government, and they can't fly over cities. So if you live in the city and they have a drone and they can't fly over the drone, how are they going to deliver it to you? I'm just saying. Broderick, I lived with 3 Mexicans for about a year. I got laughed at for staying in a 1-bedroom with them, but I learned so much. They laughed at my work ethic. Yeah, they be having hustle competitions. They're very much about that machismo, working hard. What up, Pharaoh? No, that's all drones. I got a guy, I don't have his card because we talked about it. He does aerial photography for, he did some for the Hawks and stuff. You cannot fly drones over the city. That's all of them. It's any drone. Like if you got like one of those small ones and you don't take it over the traffic, probably. But Amazon's drones, they're gonna be. I don't see it unless they change the rules. No, it ain't about attitude. The guy we talked, he was like, you fly a drone over the city, it crashes. It's a lot of if you get caught. You fly you fly your drone over the city and they don't know who you are. Some countries have birds to attack drones. They've caused a lot of problems. A drone drops in the middle of Peachtree Road while there's a bunch of traffic. Someone could get killed. I can understand why. That's why I'm like, I don't think this is gonna work. What's up, Termin? We're thinking about adding that to our real estate listing photography business. You can fly a drone over your house or a house, but like you've got this, you know, do some research. Just do some research, because like I did, because I know someone that wanted to do the aerial photography and stuff. And ask yourself, when you see people flying drones and stuff, how many of them are over the city? They're like maybe over a nice house, but how many drones do you see going over like buildings like New York? You see people in helicopters and planes, but you don't see drones. What's up, Will? FAA is a beast. I'm just telling you what I was told and what how I'm going to govern myself with this thing with these drones. But let's see, where are we? All right, cool. But yeah, you know, Apple, Hewlett Packard, Google, these started in garages. They started in garages. So It's just that whole thing of, because one of the things with hustler porn that I see is you're going to get big really quick, or you're going to make a lot of money real quick. And like I said, I got people on my Facebook page and I see all of these things about payouts. And, you know, I had my first year, my second year, really, my second year in my commercial office business, I did 1.2 million. But there was so many fees, there was so many fuck ups. I only netted out like 35, 40 E's. So when I hear all that stuff, yeah, we did that, I'm like, what's the net, motherfucker? And then a lot of them get real upset when you ask them that question, because any of you, if you had the money, you could get $1 million in sales per month by underpricing the item and flooding the market and running on raising thin margins and make money. If you had money, you could play that game. You got 10 mil in the bank and you got 2 mil that you can let chill for 30, 60 days. Oh, you could take over sectors. But who has that kind of money? Most people don't. Then not only do you have to have the money, then you have to have the expertise, then you have to have the logistics, then all this other stuff. That's why when I see this stuff, I'm just sitting there, I'm like, okay. And mark my words, a lot of these folks who are doing Amazon, they're going to be looking for something else to do in 5 years. Because that's all they know how to do. They know how to operate on Amazon's platform. They know how to please Amazon. There's value in that, but they don't know how to do their own shit. I can sell books without Amazon. Can I sell as many books without Amazon? We'll find out. But the thing is, when I sell an ebook for $10, I get $9.70. Also, I get the customer's email. Also, I can build a relationship with the customer. I can't do that on Amazon. So now, you know, when I do Uncivilized Profits, because like I said, it's in beta mode. I'm going to be doing more. And then there's some things we're going to be doing with Amazon. It's a test. It's a test, but I think it's going to be hot. Edward, no, ain't happening, Edward. No, it's not happening. MX Celix, your show's always a real pleasure. Well, thanks. What's up, Roosevelt? We have eagles at the airport for that purpose, Annie Drawn. Like I said, there's a lot to this thing. Purpose fit. How can you get your metrics on similar webs? My website doesn't show up. Your website isn't showing up because it's either new or doesn't get a lot of traffic. If your website is brand new, it probably will not show up in similar web. If your website doesn't get past like 3,000 hits a month, it probably won't show up. Kind of gives you the threshold. But building businesses and building brands is hard work, and it's supposed to be hard. But if you can love to learn, if you can love the journey of it, then you're building something, and it takes time, and you're making money, but you're also having fun. Because we're getting ready to do some stuff this year. I'm so glad I started a website versus Etsy. Being with Etsy since 2009, I'm learning a lot. Totally different beast. Damn, so much different. Yeah, it's very different, Rugged. Very different. Because here's the thing. When you operate on the platform, let's take YouTube. Okay. Do you think I want to do these streams? I'll be honest. No, I'm enjoying them now because, you know, I got folks coming in talking smack. Sometimes I have really good, interesting conversations in the chat room. Did I want to do this? YouTube changed the game. So YouTube changed the game. I had to change my behavior. I did what I needed to do to keep this going because there's value, but that was not my cup of tea. That's not what I wanted to do. So platforms make you change your business plan. Now, fortunately for me, YouTube is not like, I mean, it's really interesting because YouTube direct money from AdSense, anywhere from a few $100 a month to maybe 1,200. I mean, highest this year was 1,600. But I make more money from the books under the videos. I make more money from that, and that's totally passive because I don't do anything. It fulfills itself. And then the bigger clients I get from the channel. So there's a lot of value, but platforms make you. And then, you know, I really had to have a conversation with myself because I was kind of heading down that road to become a YouTube platform specialist, but my goal was to make money, and which thing made me more money. And that's why, you know, I kind of dialed down a lot of stuff, because everybody doesn't want to write books. Lesson learned. Everybody doesn't want to do YouTube, but everybody wants to make money. And if you can start a business, put proper structures, proper protocols in it to the point where you don't have to go into the office and you get checks, that's exciting. And I'm really good at that. I cannot tell you my best client success secrets, because they're like, we don't want that out there. We don't want our competitors to know about you. So that's what I'm doing. Uncle G, Avery Brown went through the Never Be Broke Action course and $25 hustle. Fucking fantastic. Highly recommended for everyone. Appreciate it. Yeah, because, you know, Hustlers Kung Fu, it's all about making that money without a job. And typically you have to, in my opinion, start some kind of business or get income outside of a job to really get wealthy in America. There's a few people who can get wealthy with a job. You know, you're a CEO with $1 million income and, you know, 5 million a year in stock options. Yeah, you can get wealthy with a job. But how many of those jobs are there like that out there? Not even 1% of the workforce. It's like point something percent of the workforce, that level of money. So, or you create your own company and then make yourself CEO. That works. Does experience make a good book? Hell yes. Broderick, I'm starting to love outsourcing, like really love it. You get to use other people's talents. You're becoming a manager. Purpose Fit, you have a course on how to set up proper business systems. Ask a better question there. What do you mean by proper business systems? You know, be more specific. You know, what are you looking to do? So I'm going to keep this one short. Let y'all know, now that I've rescued the channel, Avery Brown, I was cracking up when we were talking about getting rid of the make-do mentality, the ham hocks in the pot to eat for a week, death to the stroke. Yeah, that whole, I'm going to tell you a little story. Years ago, when I was a part of the Matrix, I was an employee. I worked overtime hours. I did all of this stuff. That was a matrix, because, you know, in my mind, the only way that I can make more money, even though I had studied business, was for me. You know, I thought business for these other people, these fancy people that I was kind of like romanticizing. I didn't really think I could become one, which took me so long to actually get in the seat of the saddle. But I go buy this car, not South Lake, Union City. I think it was Union City Nissan. So I'm there talking, and, you know, my ratios were all out of whack. At the time, I didn't even understand that. I just knew that my credit wasn't where it needed to be. And talk to the salesman, and he's like, well, you know, we black. This is how we do. Put them ham hocks and greens in the pot, eat all week, you know. And dude was trying to talk me into like an outrageous car payment. I mean, it was like, whoa. And I just walked. I wanted that car, but I walked. But that mentality was like, you know, I left and I said, someday in my life, I'm going to be able to pay cash for a car. Fuck this. And that's what I've been able to do. It took me a while to get there, but that feeling, you wanting some, you can't do it, you're shit raggedy, and nobody, and the thing is, one of the reasons my shit was raggedy was virtually my circle. Everybody was on the same raggedy shit. There was a few people who were not as raggedy as I was, but we were all very close. I was talking to a friend the other day, and his mother-in-law, who I know, really great woman, when his first son was born, they put $1 million in a trust fund from the day he was born. Millie in the trust fund. Day he was born. So the day he was born, he's a little black kid too. Just put that out there, because I know people are like, oh, he was a millionaire the day he was born. Think about that. I was just like, because I didn't know that they did that, but I know they had the money to do it. And I was just like, that's what's up. He was a millionaire the day he was born. You can't, that's just, I got goosebumps, because there needs to be more of that versus all this fucking hustler porn. Looking to sell daily digital property, best membership program from website. I don't know, because I'm getting away from the membership stuff. I've had, maybe what is it? Member Mouse. I think that's good. Louis the Seller. What's up, dude? I'm finally building my own website, and I can already sense the freedom of not totally relying on platform. I won't be launching it until I learn everything about marketing. I thank you. Good deal. Issy, I like that. Hustle porn equals immediate gratification. Avery, that raggedy shit got to go. While there was a hustler porn, the great antithesis of struggle porn. I'm also killing it with Uber. Uber has changed because I use Uber quite a bit, and it's gone up. I was sitting there like, that was different, and I see a lot of drivers really like it because one last Uber driver I had, he said he quit his job to do Uber full time. He said he was making twice the money and working about 10 hours a week less. I mean, that's twice the money, even if he was working the same. He emphasized, I'm working 10 hours a week less. So he's all in that. Only I keep reminding myself it's not supposed to be easy. You hit the head on the nail. Most people just can't take the pressure. I would say that's true. Heard you talk about the power of your subconscious mind 2 weeks ago. Got the book, and my life and opportunities have gotten better and become available. Let me tell you about the power of your subconscious mind and what it really is. Most of the time, you're thinking you can't do it because we were groomed that way. If you live in America, you're groomed that way that you can't do it unless you're credentialed. You can't do it unless you have a degree. You can't do it unless you're Jewish. You can't do it unless you're Chinese or this type of stuff. There's a fucked up book called Marriage is for White People. It's on Amazon. I was just like, marriage is really for people of means because, two broke people getting together leaves more broke people in the room. But once you start to accept that, yeah, I can do that, it starts to happen, and it just kind of blows your mind. And I should warn you, for the folks who are getting the power of subconscious mind, you start doing that stuff, you're going to feel somewhat like a fraud in the beginning because shit's going to get easier. It's almost like I'm being conflicting here, but it's still going to be hard. But it's like you see opportunities that have been there all the time, but you never saw them before. That's what the power of subconscious mind did to me, because I was just like, damn, it was like that. Yeah, it was like that. So you're just not taught that you're good enough. You're not taught that you're great enough. You don't get those attaboys. If you come from a dysfunctional family, no one may have even told you, I'm proud of you. There's a lot of people walking around here who someone has never said, I'm proud of you in their whole fucking life. I'm serious. I mean, it's really fucked up, but there are people walking around. There are people where someone that they respect have never said, good job. They've never heard that. This is one of the reasons that a lot of these players are really good, close to their coaches, because their coaches are their fathers. And for the girls who play certain sport, the coaches are their fathers and mothers. Really, because this is the only place they get that type of validation for performing and succeeding. My parents did something for me instead of cash. They put in to stop it, man. Stop it. What's up, Eric? Ion Manzur Savage. What's up? Lyft has its own fan base. They're not as big as Uber. Nope, no local meetups again. I got some big clients that take up all my time, so I'm not doing that. On divine purpose, you got me thinking bigger. I realized from watching you that I need to revamp my business plans and goals. Thinking long-term, big money goals now. Congratulations. I want to learn everything about marketing before I launch. No. Launch and learn on, this website is like a digital build your wings on the way down, because you're not really going to physically crash. So launch your website and start doing all that stuff at the same time, because you're going to need to have some things to test. So you can be learning, but you need to be learning and doing. Cool. I got the $100 startup book. It's a good book. Sure thing, Comfort Zone Studio. Yeah, I mean, the whole thing with the hustler porn, I got seduced by that stuff when I was a kid. I used to order that bullshit out of the back of magazines before the internet was, the internet. And it just didn't work because they fed me hustler porn. And instead of me thinking, how many people can I serve? What kind of brand could I build? How can I make this great? How can I train employees? The real stuff that makes money, it was just like, I'm going to do this system. I'm going to spend $39.99 and I'm going to have me a Ferrari in 3 months. I was so stupid. Oh my God, I was so stupid. But I was young. So. Will Smithson, why do my friends and families think that if you pay money for anything better yourself, it must be a scam? To not support your family, sometimes these things are scams, but the reality is people cannot understand, accept, or encourage things that they don't like or are afraid of. So I got clients paying me big money. I mean, eye-popping money, right? And some people will hear the sums and like, oh, Glendon ain't worth that. He ain't worth that. What the fuck is he doing? But there are other people who know the real deal and they hear that like, damn, that's a deal. So it's really about your environment. It's about the people in your environment, because let's say I charge a client $1 million, right? The upside is that will help them build a business that will make millions year after year after year. So they pay me $1 million, and then they got a business that in its life cycle does $30 million. That's cheap. That's cheap. That's real cheap. Because one of the things, and let's go back to my 5 businesses that I failed. Every business that I've had, I've always learned something new. And I've got this thing now where I can look at a business model. I can look at, I mean, get down to, oh, the bubble gum is 2 cents. How can we make more money with the bubble gum? Take the analysis to that level. Plus, I know how to use video marketing. There's not a lot of people with these skill sets in one body. It's just not. A lot of video marketing guys, because I went to a conference, and video marketing guys are really, really good with video marketing, and the paid traffic guys are really, really good with paid traffic. But someone who can, accurately create a business model and embed the marketing into the business model and then do the paid traffic and the video marketing, the money is insane. And I know this because I'll tell you, in the heydays of us making money making money with self-storage unit A to Z, I wake up 2, 3, 4, 5 grand in my merchant account every fucking day, 7 days a week. Why? Video marketing. That's it. There was nothing else. I wasn't doing any paid traffic. I didn't really do shit on Facebook. I learned early on that marketing my business on Facebook to my friends was a waste of time. Like now, if you're my Facebook friends, you're gonna see bullshit most of the time. Like, oh, the bison thing wasn't bullshit. I thought that was helpful. You'll see me doing jokey stuff and every now and then I'll put some up about business. I'm not creating a Facebook page for this thing. I don't really see the value. I don't see the value in Facebook likes. I see the value in talking to you, having some people every day. I put out, hey, get the Never Broke Action Pack, which is under the video. Oh, 2 people buy, that's 300. 10 people buy, that's $1,500. Just like that. Or I can go play in Facebook and, oh yeah, I'm posting every 2 hours to keep the Facebook algorithm happy, so they will marginally show me 5% more to people who've already liked the page. Fuck that. Fuck that. I'm not doing it. I'm just not. But see, when you know better, you can do better. I'm not playing that game because it works for Facebook, and there's some people, don't get me wrong, who've made a lot of money with Facebook, but I'm just choosing not to use it. And there's some other stuff that's coming, but I'm not doing that for Hustlers Kung Fu. Let's see. Whoa. You can always get a car with Uber if you want to do that. How do you influence positivity and open-minded creativity with your team? And how do you get them to step their skill set up without offending them? It's called hiring correctly. Hire the right people first. You can't change a grown person. They have to change themselves. I don't want to impose my beliefs and work ethics on them, but if I try to lead by example, can you give me some actionable steps I can implement? Number one, hire the right people. These are people with good personalities. They're what's called service oriented. It's like they like helping people. A lot of people who are service oriented become doctors, nurses, attorneys, clerks. These are folks who like to be helpful. You ever have a girlfriend who's like, every time you turn around, like, can I do this for you? Can I do this for you? They like to do stuff for people. That's who you want to hire, people like that. Then you create real training programs. But it all starts with, I mean, it's like football, it's like basketball. Like, all right, Roll Tide, University of Alabama. Why do they win? They get more 5-star recruits than anybody else. I mean, you can have the best coaching, but if you don't have, as the late great Bino Cook said, if you don't have the right material, you know, he was talking about Notre Dame. He's like, well, Notre Dame doesn't have the material. You got great coaches and the best players. What? So hire, you know, work on hiring. That's going to be the biggest thing. What does encouragement change in a person's mindset? Typically, especially with children, if you've got kids, you should never say you're a fucked up kid. I wish I never had you. I've heard people say that to their kids. That does not create a good kid or a good person. And this shit will, you know, the stuff that happens to you and your kids, and this is why personal development is really, really important. That shit doesn't go away because you're no longer 6. You got people out there like what I call it, the late blooming hoe syndrome. You'll get a girl who never got the attention from her father in high school, plain Jane. Then she went out in career, did well, got herself some money, got herself a fit, you know, doing Pilates and, you know, boxing and stuff. And all of a sudden, you know, she's fly as fuck. She's trying to recapture that shit she never got when she was that age. You see it all the time. Dudes, like, you know, guys who went to college, you see the guy, you could always tell the little guy that was nothing after he crossed lines, hardest motherfucker on the yard, right? But before he crossed, he was a little punk. You see this stuff all over and over again. So encouragement is very, very important. So if you're married, you know, it's important to tell your mate, good job, I'm proud of you. That shit right there, it keeps people happy. I predicted that, Avery. I predicted that. I said that was going to happen in my no eBay, no Amazon videos. I said that several times. Oh, they've been doing it for years. They've been doing it for years. How can you tell if something is or isn't a scam? Kind of go back early in the video when I started talking about they you know, steps. They actually tell you what it is. Amazon is buying American Apparel to appease Trump. Well, American Apparel, Google this. The motherfucker who started, I mean, he was a mother. This dude used to masturbate in front of reporters. He'd just take his pants off and like, ah. And if one reporter's just like, I'm not going to look. I'm not going to let him freak me out. I'm a professional. He's over there beating off. Just Google the founder of American Apparel. That's going to be a movie someday. I know it because he's a wild one. I guess the blue collar. Nope, don't watch that. I don't really watch a lot. You know what I do? We don't have cable around here, right? We got Netflix, Amazon TV, and typically we watch movies or like right now, I am watching The House of Lies. Marty Kant, that show, that is one of the best written shows I've ever seen because the episodes go so fast. Because it's like, wait a minute, it's over? And there's like 5 seasons, so we're on season 2. That's what I do. I don't really watch a lot of regular television unless it's a football game. Ron, I will be launching my 18-month project before January 31st. This was a crazy grind. I had to tune people out, including my own mother. When you start creating a business or doing something different, or just say you take up a hobby that you become very committed to, if you have people who are in your circle who have never done anything like that, the hate's going to start, or, you know, 1 or 2 will really support you. They may even join you because they're so inspired, but the hate's going to start because what you're doing is you're breaking tradition. This tribalism is no joke. Tribalism is keeping people poor. It's like, well, you know, we were all garbage collectors and nothing wrong being a garbage collector. Don't lose your fucking boxers. But you got people out there who are garbage collectors who could be mathematicians. And that kind of goes back earlier to the point of encouragement. When I was in my first job at Rent a Crate, I didn't know commercial office brokers made like 500 grand a year. You don't know what you don't know. And so if you have someone who doesn't encourage you, there's this very natural instinct to protect your underbelly and not to take risks. So you could be perfectly capable from an intellectual standpoint of doing anything, but because your self-esteem is low, because you haven't been exposed, you haven't had encouragement, you're working like at Walmart. Seriously, this happens all the time. So encouragement is very important. The internet and technology is changing the world. I'm 49. Sometimes I wish 20 years younger. How about you, Glenda? Do you wish you were younger? I got lucky, Louis. I got on this track when I was 32. So, no, I don't really wish I was younger. But see, I went through the bullshit that some of you are going through for years ago with the family and other people. In the boarding house, I had 2 friends who came to visit me when I was there. 2 out of my crew. 2. So I've been on this path since 32. So that's a little different because, I would say to someone, because I'm 50, so, I'm a little older than you, but I would say to anyone at any point, because at 32, I felt like it was too late. I was like, oh God, I'm working this job and all the account reps are like right out of college. I'm 32. I am like 7. Let's say there's like 22, 23. So I'm like 7 to damn near 10 years older than everyone that I'm working with. And it felt odd, man. It felt odd. But the thing is, it's like, fuck it, I'm going to perform. I'm here to win. I think at any age, you can make that decision. You're like, I'm here to win. So Lamo has finished the 10 essential steps of hustling, taking action now. Great course. Thank you. Eric Danrich, I do with experience. I got in business so I could have be well off by my 40s. If you start a business when you're in your 20s and you keep at it, you'll be a millionaire for real in your 40s or 50s. Mommy motivation, so true. I totally pulled back from Facebook. Now I doubled up on building blog pages, YouTube video production. I don't like Mark Zuckerberg's lease terms. I have a page, video marketing. They unpublished it because I wasn't posting on it. They unpublished. I mean, I could post and put it back up, but I was like, they sent me, it's like, we're gonna unpublish it because you ain't helping us, man. So we don't have room for you in our servers, motherfucker. The internet's changing the world. I wish I was 20 years younger so I could work on it and be well in my 40s. Well, for Louis and Eric, here's the thing. You guys have something that someone who's 22. Remember what I said in the earlier stream? Facebook was started by Zuckerberg, but Sheryl Sandberg, her ass is 40-something. All these folks who are really running these companies, they're 40-something. So you got something called experience. And if you can bring your technical skills up, you can actually move faster than they can. Terrible. In Europe, e-commerce is really booming, but there's lots of sites. Hard to come with some creative. Competition is fierce, man. Competition for cheap bullshit is fierce. Competition for cheap bullshit is fierce. Competition for cheap bullshit is fierce. If you can move your price points to, you're selling $100 items, you will see there's just not as much competition out there. GTW, I was the girl who heard those things. I'm really sorry. That's very misfortunate because I've seen mothers talk to their kids like that, and I just want to slap the shit out of them because it creates a very nasty chain of events. Philmon, there's a lot of people who shouldn't have kids if there was. I mean, seriously, that's just truth. That's just truth. Mark Cavelli, what do you think about? I think virtual reality will be big. I don't think we're there yet. Mike Page, how do you hustle, build a biz, and learn all the technical video blocking at the same time? Every day you have a list that you work off of. You put down on that list what you need to do, you rank it in order of importance, and you keep doing it. That's how you do it. Yeah, VR is booming for video games, but anybody see Civil War, the Iron Man, the Avengers movie, like when it opens and he is in there thing with his parents, like the holodeck, Star Trek holodeck, that VR is going to be hot. And this is why, and this is going to be the number one reason you can create There's going to be two things. There's going to be robots. There will be animation. There'll be robots, and there'll be this animation that you can fuck whoever you want. So if you want to fuck Mother Teresa, Catholics, don't lose your mind. This is an example. I'm not saying this. You can have that program create a cover of Mother Teresa. You see a porn star, you want to bang a porn star, bam, you banging the porn star in your virtual reality room. When that shit happens, society will change because a lot of people will never leave their fucking house. They will not leave. Uber delivers, Uber Eats delivers, Amazon delivers. You can fuck whatever you want on your automatic, your animation doll. Some people are just not gonna leave their house. It's gonna be wild. It's gonna be wild. You're so hilarious. Oh, there's more, Divine. There's more. Pharaoh Phoenix, your emotional IQ is high, which will help you develop those skills. I actually told someone that the other day, because when I used to work for the Gallup organization years ago, they make you take a test, and the guy who was interviewing me saying, and it was called audiency, audiency or audiency, I forget the term. He says, I have never seen an audience score this high, and I've been doing this 5 years. So I can read people really well. And there was, this is kind of with the tribalism. There was a way that I was brought up, which urged me not to treat people the way that I needed to treat them in a particular situation, because everybody doesn't want to be treated the same way. It's real funny, but when I started to read people and treat them the way that I thought they needed to be treated, success. Here's another little story for Divine. I was on a sales call, and it was this lady. She was the one that I was trying to make the sale to. She was the lead on the project, and I sensed she was troubled. And let me describe her. Redhead, green eyes, 5'2", maybe 130, if that. And we were talking, and she just kind of like paused, right? And there was this thing that crossed across her face, and then she kind of straightened herself up. And I was like, "What's wrong?" She said, "No, let's do." I was like, "I got time. You're my last appointment. Let's talk about it." And she just like, "Oh no, it's not professional." Then I got up. Now I've done a lot of shit. Now I'm not urging you to do this. I'm not urging you to do this. This was me. So I got up and I said, "Stand up." She's like, "What?" And I grabbed her hand, stand up, gave her a big hug. It'll be okay. Whatever it is, it'll be okay. She started crying. Her and the husband was having problems. I went to the bathroom, got her some tissue, sat there, looked at her. We talked it out. Of course, I got the deal. But we never talked about the furniture anymore after that. Got the deal, and every time I saw her, she talked about that because she had no one she could talk to about it. I mean, it's a trip. So if I had treated her like I was supposed to, which was like, well, apparently you're having a moment here, let's reschedule, I never would have made that deal. And I was telling another client, I had to help out another client recently, which is a hilarious story, which I cannot tell you, but it's just funny. Vikings, hadn't seen it yet, but I'll check it out. Do you think if you launched your pet photography business in 2007, would it take off? I think it would make money, but it wouldn't make the kind of money I want to, so I wouldn't touch it. The Life Warrior, Glenda, do you think businesses fail because of the lack of money or knowledge? Knowledge. You got knowledge, you can get money. Knowledge. You got enough knowledge, you can get money. I've heard hire the personality, train the skill. Pretty much. You get somebody with a nasty attitude, all they're going to do is alienate people. Oh shit, I'm 31 to get my mind right, and I'm about to kill it. Nope, you're never too old to do anything. Machiavelli, if I come out of college as an engineer at late 21, early 22, and want to start my own business, what tips do I have? First tip, start your business now, part-time. Which means if that means you can't party as much, then you don't fucking party. Start your business right now. First tip. Yeah, I've heard a lot of stuff about Facebook jail. Like I said, I don't do anything on Facebook. I don't have a Facebook page. And on my profile page is about to get funny as hell. Total Recall. What's Irvin? Total Recall, what are you talking about? The movie? Age Free 2? What the hell? What are y'all talking about? No, I'm going to get beat down for this, but if it's wrong if I put my business before my girlfriend and her daughter. Hey, your business is yours. They ain't. That's all I got to say on that. What will insurance companies do? Less accidents. Oh, okay. I see what you're saying. Okay. All right. The Kiki animation doll. I get y'all. How can I develop those skills to raise my emotional IQ? First thing you should do is meditate, which I know is going to sound really crazy. Go somewhere and learn how to do transcendental meditation. After you learn to do transcendental meditation, then you go find some monks. I'm not kidding. Find some Buddhist monks. Because this is the thing. If you can find some and talk to them from a really honest place, they'll talk to you and just say, I've learned transcendental meditation and I want to learn how you guys meditate. They'll be happy to train your ass. So if you can find some or a Buddhist temple and get into that stuff, because to meditate, and I'm gonna kind of give you the whole thing of how it happens. My first time meditating, I passed out. It was all that stress releasing, right? Then the second time, and I got into some deep stuff where I was meditating for an hour, and there was this magazine. Matter of fact, for you guys who like the avant-garde type stuff, let's see. I'm gonna tell you where I learned about Reader. For the people who are like, and this magazine is for creative, spiritual, earthy types. All right, if it shows up, here we go. And all right, I don't know why I say, well, I'm streaming, but it's called UT Reader. There we go. Years and years ago, I was meditating, and I used to work in Scottish Rite Children's emergency room, right? And there was this doctor, Dr. Linda Settle. She used to bring these magazines, UT Reader, and I like read them all the time. And it was like a really cool stuff. It's very, if you're a creative type, you're gonna love this magazine. If you're a creative type. So there was this article about this Buddhist monk who was a writer and lifted weights. You know, I was very, very interested, right? So if he ever had writer's block, he would meditate and he would write for 3 hours straight. And I was like, well, I'll try it. And that was because I was meditating. And well, actually, I read the story before I started meditating because I went back to it because I wasn't working at the hospital. And then I started meditating, and I found out that if I ever had issues writing, I could do a 10-minute, 20-minute, 30 session of meditation. Boom, I could write my ass off. So I never get creativity blocked because of this. So this is where the emotional IQ came from, because as you get in touch with you and you get in touch with your bullshit, it's very easy for you to accept, observe, and handle the bullshit of other people, because you'll see someone freak out, but because when you have a greater level of emotional intelligence or empathy, you'll have a sense that they're not freaking out because they're crazy. They're freaking out because they're scared, or they're freaking out because something's wrong. Like the lady. I mean, I saw it and I didn't know what the hell it was. And, you know, her and her husband were just like going at it. And it was like, you know, the job was really stressful. And yes, if I wanted to fuck her, I could, but I was married. No, I wasn't married, but I had a girl at the time. I could have. And there's something else too. This is a lesson in power. For you to have power, you must have responsibility, because if you don't have responsibility, you will not have power. And, you know, we became friends. And I think we became friends because she knew she could trust me, because we talked about it. She said, you knew I was vulnerable, and I would have. And I said, yeah, I knew that, but you know, I figured I'd keep you around forever. She just smiled. But typically, it's a lot. The more responsible you are with power, the more power you'll get. The less responsible you are with power, the less power you will have. So you just can't get power and go fucking crazy. It typically doesn't end well. So let's come out of there. But yeah, I left that up there so y'all can get into that. Tamron, get on the live. Don't miss the shows. There's an email list that's right under the show. Under the video. Get on that list, and I send it out 30 minutes to an hour before I do a stream. Streams are usually Monday through Friday, sometime in the morning. Jay Nerd, how do you bounce back from burnout? Meditation, working out, taking care of yourself. Edward Lewis, yep, Ray Dalio, founder of the biggest hedge fund in the world, says meditation is his #1 key to success. Really? I didn't know. I mean, it's powerful stuff. I recommend it highly. Shoe 458. What's up with this corny shit? You know, if it's look, Bill Gates learned how to do meditation in high school. Let me say that again. Bill Gates learned how to do meditation in his private high school. What's up, Eric? That I don't know, Life Warrior. The title of the stream makes so much sense. Yeah, that's another thing that I'm doing. I'm doing the streams, so I'm breaking away from normal SEO because I was getting bored. This is way more fun. Of divine purpose, meditation does wonders. I love it. On my in my level of meditation skills, intermediate, ideal start flowing like water. Yes. Visualization of business is outrageous. Stress release is tremendous. Now, I'm going to give you the double whammy here. If you do transcendental meditation and you work out in the same day, your blood pressure will go down if you have high blood pressure, or it will normalize, or it'll go low. It'll go super low. I remember I had a physical. And this is when and I'm getting back to that whole mode. That's when I'm changing my workout. And the doctor was like, "Are you a runner?" Because I was huge, right? Because he was looking at me like someone encouraged. It's like, your pulse is like 55, but he's looking at me. It's like, you don't look like a runner. I said, I don't run. I knew what it was. I said, I meditate. He said, oh, he goes like, this big motherfucker shouldn't have a pulse rate that low. It does a lot of good stuff. I didn't have a schedule. It did all day, man. There was no weekly. There was just wake up and go hard. That was pretty much the schedule in the beginning. Yep, morning channel. Meditation will help quiet the mind and help you tune in. Because I will tell you, for some of you who never meditated, typically the beginning is rough because you'll feel like ants and stuff because you just are running all over you. You may start itching. You're just not used to being still. It's a very, very atypical position to be in for the first few times. So it'd be interesting. All right, so for those of you who are still here, oh man, we went way long. All right, but see, we got into meditation. Irvin, I thought you were around. I thought it was the weed. Does weed give you a low blood pressure? I didn't know that. All right, so with that, be sure to get the Never Broke Action Pack. I have delayed the e-commerce course to February because there's a lot of stuff that's going on. So, but for those of you who buy the Never Broke Action Pack, I'm going to give you a $450 credit off that course. The course is not going to be cheap. I'm just put that out there to you. So you buy the Never Broke Action Pack, you get a $450 credit for that course, which can be used just one time. All right, hold on for you folks who want to know about the transcendental meditation. Let me find it for you because I've learned my lesson. Because I'll put it in here and I'll get like 80 emails. Transcendental. I'm saying it wrong. All right. Let's see. Here we go. Okay. See, I like these streams because actually I don't get bored, which really helps me do more of them. All right. This is what you want. Transcendental meditation. They've got all kinds of centers. And it's like, if you don't have the money, because it can't, there's books. It's very, very helpful. Now, I don't do that type of meditation anymore. I do something that's really different because it works for me. I played around with it. But I have 10-minute sessions, 20-minute sessions. If I've just got a lot of shit going on, I'll do maybe an hour a day for a week. When I go that deep, I start to see stuff and it scares the shit out of me. So I don't do that anymore. The first time I did it, I saw some stuff and it kind of came true. And I was like, I don't really want to know this. I really don't want to know this. Maybe later I'll tell y'all some more freaky stories, stuff that happened to me as a kid. But yeah, That's it. So you got it on the screen. Let's pop out of that. Get back. All right. So yeah, that may come later because, like I said, I'm really a big proponent of meditation and power of subconscious mind because you have so much bullshit going on in your mind that slows you down. That's ridiculous. And until you start getting rid of it, it's your norm. You don't really know because that's every day you wake up with it, and that's just normal. But yeah. All right. So with that, be sure to share this video with someone you care about. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe after the video renders. And be sure to get that Never Broke Action Pack. It'll save you a lot of money. All right. So I will, with that, I'm out.